Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to this video. And this video is the part of the series that I have started regarding English speaking. And in this video series, I will help you to learn all the things that I have followed throughout my English speaking journey and the things that really worked for me. And in general, they works because I have researched a lot about these techniques and I have learned English by myself, and I have become this much fluent at this present day, and it was all by my own. And I was wondering, why don't I share everything I learned by myself to you so that you can be the same exact resourceful to master English more easily, so you don't have to struggle like when back in 2010, 15, when I started to be an English learner. When I was in my school days, I was always enthusiastic about learning better English, but I struggled a lot to learn it by myself. But you don't have to do the struggle the same way I did, and that's why I am here to share everything that I knew along the path. So yeah, basically today I have set in my mind that I will talk about three techniques. These techniques are super powerful, but they are super duper easy to understand and easy to apply, and they literally works like autopilot. Like when you master these three techniques, utilize them, apply them in your English speaking journey, it works like an autopilot. Like you don't have to do anything, you don't have to worry about like translating every single words from your mother tongue to English to continue the English conversation. So it's really magical. So without further delay, I want to jump into the first technique, and that is, I really want you to think in English when you are trying to speak in English. So what does that mean? Am I talking about something nonsense? Not really. I will explain it by an example of what I used to do when I was a beginner. For example, when I was in my school days and trying to learn English newly, so I used to gather some fancy words, some new English phrases that I could learn from my textbook or maybe from different sources. I used to collect them, and I used to note them on my notebook. But along with that, I used to write the meaning in Bengali. Obviously, Bengali is my mother tongue, and I used to write every single thing along with the English word in Bengali. So in my brain, I would register the meaning in Bengali, and when it was the turn for applying back those English words or phrases in the real life conversation, I had to go through that Bengali meaning that I've learned in and that I've registered in my brain, and that require like an eternity time to make the translation process back in my mind and finally deliver the words that I want to say in English. So this is a real life hassle that I used to face, and I know as a beginner you are also facing this type of scenario. So to get rid of this type of hassle, there is only one solution, that is to think everything in the language that you are targeting to master. Well, now there is the $1,000,000 question, that is how to think in English. As a native speaker, how can I even think in English without knowing English at a better level? So there is the solution. What I used to do is I used to search the meaning of the new word or phrase that I learned in Google by searching that, okay, I need the meaning along with the English explanation. So most of the case, I would find the Oxford Dictionary or Wikipedia giving me the meaning or the explanation for that particular word or phrase that I was searching for. So in that way, you just not only remember the translated version of the meaning of that word, you remember the explanation that goes in English, and you set a story around that word or phrase that you have learned. And the thing is, as most of the case, Oxford English Dictionary in online, or maybe any other dictionary in online, even Wikipedia, they have some examples like in sentences for those phrases or words. You will go through those sentences and as you go through those sentences that apply that English word that you were trying to learn, you will have some context. You will have some story regarding that word, surrounding that word. And when it is a time to apply back that particular word in your real life English conversation, it becomes more easier. You don't have to dig through your brain searching for that Bengali meaning again and again, or whatever your mother tongue is. You don't have to dig into that information. You can instantly get the story in your head regarding that word and apply it immediately in your conversation. So, this is how it works like magic. So, think in English, learn the English word in English, and apply them in English. So, the whole process you are in, it is operated in English, and it becomes easier to speak English, to remember the English word, to apply back the English word. Yeah, that's really easy. So now it's time to talk about the technique number two. And I want to make a disclaimer at this stage of the video that the more we go to the end of this video, the more the tips and the techniques become powerful. So here now for this section, let's focus on technique number two, which is really easy and quick. That is, don't focus on your flaws while talking in English. Now, you may ask me that isn't it important to correct our mistakes and to be perfect while trying to learn English? Obviously, this is important to be a better speaker with better grammatical, I will say, accuracy. But it is important when you are a beginner just to start, like without thinking more, starting the conversation confidently, it is more important than making it perfectly. So now I am going to tell you that why this technique number two, that don't focus on your flaws while talking English, works every single time. That is because when you don't focus on your flaws, you get more energy. You can focus better on the communication. You can focus better what the people or what the person next to you is trying to say to you, and what they or what the person is expecting from you. So your conversation becomes more enjoyable, more lively and engaging, and as a result you feel that okay, I am confident and I can obviously speak better English, although you are making thousands of mistakes. But the thing is, you get a flow to continue the conversation and to like get through the conversation every single time. But on the other hand, if you don't follow technique number two, like if you really focus on the flaws that you make while making a conversation, you are in the trap. What type of trap it is? Basically, you drain all your energy, you put all your energy into making the conversation perfect. You want to sound like a perfect English speaker, like a native one, and boom, you are making mistakes. The mistakes are making you nervous. The nervousness makes you feel inferior, and as a result, you don't speak well. So the summary of the technique number two is like if you really want to become a fluent speaker as a beginner, you must ignore all the mistakes that you are making while speaking English. Yeah, that's all. So now we are really close to the end of this video, and finally it's the time to reveal the technique number three. Technique number three is really powerful, and it says that you have to consume as many English content, be it any audio content, any video content, any type of English content, you have to consume them as many as you can. So, how does it work? Let me explain. So, basically, you will notice if you see anybody with any kind of problem or disability regarding their vocal, that they cannot speak or they face some physical disability regarding speaking, 90% of the time you will see that they have some problem with their hearing, with their listening. So in that way, listening is directly connected to speaking. The better you listen, the better you speak. And no matter what language you are speaking, the better you listen to that particular language, the better you can be the speaker. So now just imagine yourself in the place of that baby girl who is really new in the world and doesn't know the language English. She like like her, you don't have the resources, you don't have the vocabularies, you don't have many things, but what you have is the power of hearing. You can hear people, and as now we have internet, we have lots of, like, thousands of videos that are on English, and it is really easy to find contents that are in English. So it's not like old back in old days that, okay, we are in our own country as a non-native speaker, it is really hard to have the environment that is surrounded by English content. It's not that case. In our new world, in this modern world, we are really blessed to have that communication, fast-paced world that is really, really just surrounded by English content. And grab those blessings, utilize those blessings in your favor, in the path of your English learning journey. And this is how you become a better speaker. There is no magic, there is no shortcut. You just have to be conscious about what you are picking, what you are applying, and the process, the strategy you are taking to make yourself like 1% better every day. If you learn one technique one day, and if you apply them every single day throughout next 1 month, and you do 1% improvement, that's all. You win in life, like you win in the journey of learning English, because it takes time. But never lose hope. If you really understand these three techniques that I have talked about so long, you really win the game. It is easy to apply them immediately, and see the result by the end of like 2 to 3 months. You will be like a really better speaker. I wish you all the best. I am hopeful that this video really helped you in adapting these skills, and I tried to explain as easily as I could. And if you have any confusion about any of these techniques, just write in the comment box. And if you are struggling with any other issues, if you have any personal issues that you face while speaking English, or when making sentences in English, just let me know in the comment box, so that I can make another video, and I can include that video in this video series. So I really appreciate your comment, and if this video is helpful for you, please don't forget to share it, because sharing makes us more powerful.